The moment we launched the game, something felt wrong. You know that uneasy silence before a storm? That's what it felt like. The loading screen wasn't just a loading screen, it flickered like a heartbeat on a dying monitor. For a split second, I thought I saw something staring back at us from the static. We laughed it off, like, oh, creepy Easter egg, but deep down it felt like the game was watching us. The room around us didn't help either. The lights in my setup started to buzz. My headphones picked up this faint crackle, and my controller vibrated even though the game hadn't started. My chest tightened. I couldn't shake the feeling that pressing start would change something we couldn't take back. When the menu finally appeared, it wasn't like the trailers. The cheerful music, gone. The bright visuals, drenched in a dull, gray haze. The title didn't even read the same. Instead of parallel realities, it just said, one of many. I stared at it for way too long, my palms sweating on the controller. My friend sitting next to me nudged me and whispered, just press it. It's just a game. But the way he said it, like even he wasn't sure, made my skin crawl. I swallowed, hit start, and instantly the room around us felt heavier. Like gravity itself had doubled. My heart thudded in my ears, each beat louder than the last. The screen went black for a few seconds, just long enough for doubt to creep in. Was it frozen? Was something wrong? Then a whisper came through my headset, not in the game, in my headset. A voice that wasn't mine, a voice that wasn't his, just a low murmur saying, "You shouldn't have come here." We froze. Both of us yanked off our headphones at the same time. Why? Died. The room was dead silent. No one else was there. Just us. My friend forced a laugh, trying to brush it off, but I could see it. The same chill ran through him. And then the game screen lit back up. A single hallway stretched out before us, dark, endless, and pulsing with shadows that moved like they were alive. My thumb hovered over the joystick, but I didn't move, not yet. My breathing was shallow, my hands trembling. Because in that moment I realized something. This wasn't just a game. It felt connected. Like each choice we made here would ripple into something far beyond the screen. And just when I thought we could back out, turn it off, unplug everything, the screen flashed white, the speakers screeched, and for a single frame I saw it. A face not human, not even close, just staring at us. We didn't know it yet, but from that second on there was no way out. The hallway in front of us stretched endlessly, its walls cracked and wet, like something was breathing just behind them. The flickering lights above weren't just game effects. They synced with the flicker of my own lamp in the room. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, but it was still happening. My setup lights were mimicking the game. We started walking forward in the game. Every step echoed in my headphones like someone walking right behind us. I kept glancing over my shoulder in real life, half expecting someone to be standing there. But it was just the two of us. Just us and the game. That's when we saw it. A door, slightly open, with light leaking through the crack. My friend whispered, "Go on, open it," but my stomach sank. Every horror player knows the first door is never safe. My thumb hesitated over the joystick, but something strange happened. The character on screen moved forward without me touching anything. I swore out loud, "I'm not doing this." I showed him the controller, thumbs off, but the character kept walking. Slowly, deliberately, until we were standing in front of the door. The sound design was insane. Our character's breathing grew shallow, raspy, like mine. I pressed every button I could to stop it, but nothing worked. The game was playing itself. The door creaked open. The screen went black for a second, and then boom, bright light exploded into the room, not just in the game. In my room, my monitor lit up like a flashbang, and the reflection showed something behind me for a split second. A shadow that didn't belong to either of us. My heart skipped. I whipped around so fast I almost knocked the chair over. Nothing. Empty. My friend muttered under his breath, "No, no, no, dude, I saw that too." Inside the room on screen, there was a single object, a mirror. Dirty, cracked, but reflecting something strange. Not the character, not the hallway. It was reflecting us. Me, him, my room, exactly as it looked right then. We stared, jaws dropped as the reflection moved differently. I leaned left, but the reflection didn't follow. My friend waved his hand on screen. His reflection smiled back at him. Not a friendly smile, a stretched, unnatural grin. We both fell back in our chairs, swearing under our breath, laughing nervously like maybe we could convince ourselves this was just a glitch. Just smart programming, right, but deep down I knew. No developer in their right mind would code that. And just as I reached for the power button to shut it down, the reflection in the mirror tilted its head, looked straight at us, and mouthed the words, "Stay." The speakers popped, the screen glitched, and suddenly the door behind our character slammed shut with a deafening crash. We weren't alone in this game anymore. The slam of that door was so loud it rattled my headphones. For a second, I thought it actually shook the room. On screen, our character spun around, but the hallway was gone. No exit. Just four walls closing in, like the game had rewritten itself to trap us. We stood there, staring at the flickering monitor, frozen. My friend whispered, "Try the door. Try it again." I did. But every time I pressed the button, the screen glitched with this horrible static scream, like nails dragging against glass. The mirror in the center of the room pulsed brighter and brighter, until it wasn't just showing us, it was showing something else. Behind our reflections, another figure appeared, tall, thin, its face blurred like bad reception. At first, it just stood there, motionless. But then, it twitched, jerky, unnatural, like someone skipping frames in a video. My hands were sweating so bad I almost dropped the controller. The figure raised its hand in the reflection, and at the exact same time, the lamp in my room flickered and my door creaked open. Slowly, my heart stopped. My friend spun around so fast his chair screeched against the floor. "Dude, your door," but no one was there. Just darkness beyond the cracked opening. Back on screen, the figure lunged forward in the reflection. The glass cracked, splintering like it was about to shatter. I yanked the joystick back, trying to get our character to move, but the controls were heavy, sluggish, like wading through water. That's when we heard it, the footsteps, not in the game, in my room, soft, uneven, getting closer. I swear my blood went cold. We both went dead silent, listening. Step, step, step. The sound stopped right behind us. I couldn't even breathe. I turned slowly, nothing, just empty air. But when I looked back at the monitor, the figure had stepped out of the mirror. It wasn't in the reflection anymore. It was inside the room with our character. The thing's head snapped toward us, not the character us. And it charged. My friend shouted, "Run, run, run." I mashed every button I could, screaming at the controller. The character bolted, stumbling into a dark corridor that wasn't there before. The screen shook violently, the speakers blared distorted screams, and for the first time, I felt actual fear, not from the game, but from the thought, what if this thing crosses over? We sprinted down that corridor in-game, the pounding footsteps behind us getting louder, closer, so real it felt like they were inside the room with us. My chest burned, my breathing ragged, and I couldn't tell which heartbeat I was hearing, mine, the character's, or something else. At the end of the corridor, a single door appeared, glowing faintly. Safety, or another trap, we didn't care. I slammed the joystick forward, burst through, and the screen cut to black. Silence. For 5 long seconds, nothing. No sound, no movement, just us sitting there, staring, hands shaking. And then, in the middle of the black screen, white text faded in. Slowly, one word at a time, "You can't escape." The words on screen, "You can't escape," hung there like a threat. My throat was dry, my friend was muttering under his breath, "Nope, nope, nope." But the game didn't quit. The black screen melted away, and suddenly we were in a new environment. A room, not just any room, my room. Same desk, same lamp, same messy stack of game cases. On screen, I was looking at myself in my own chair, controller in hand. My stomach dropped so hard it felt like falling. I whispered, "No way, this isn't possible." My friend leaned in closer, his face pale. "That's literally us." He pointed at the monitor. The game wasn't simulating some random space. It had scanned our reality. And then the text appeared again. Player 1, my name. Player 2, his name. Our actual names. Not gamer tags, not profiles, our real names. I froze. My friend slammed the desk, swearing, "How the hell does it know that?" I tried to laugh it off, like maybe it scraped something from our system files, but deep down it didn't feel technical. It felt personal, like the game knew us. The figure from before wasn't there anymore, but the mirror was. Sitting exactly where it sat in game before, and when our character approached it, the reflection didn't copy me this time. It taunted me. My reflection lifted its hands, pressing them against the glass, smirking. The voice returned, whispering both in my headphones and, I swear, inside my room. "One of many, which one are you?" I ripped my headset off, but my friend still heard it. He covered his ears, panicking. "It's not just in the game, bro. It's here." The mirror in-game began to ripple like water, and text appeared again. "Choose wisely." Two options materialized on screen. Enter the mirror, stay where you are. I didn't want to pick either. My hands hovered over the controller, shaking. My friend shouted, "Pick stay, just stay, don't go in." But my gut screamed that staying would be worse. That the thing wanted us stuck. Before I could decide, the controller vibrated violently, almost jumping out of my hands. And then, without pressing anything, the option highlighted itself. Enter the mirror. No, 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 I didn't pick that. I yelled. But it didn't matter. The character stepped forward, hand reaching into the glass like it was liquid. My friend grabbed my wrist. "Don't do it, just quit the game." But my finger hovered over the power button, and I swear I couldn't move. Like the game didn't want me to, like something was holding me there. The reflection smiled wider, tilting its head, waiting. And then the screen went white again. This time, the whisper wasn't in the headphones. It was right behind us. "Welcome to the other side." White, blinding, endless white. That's all the screen showed. My eyes stung. My friend covered his face. We were both breathing like we'd just run a marathon, and then shapes began to form in the white, shifting, ghostly outlines of buildings, rooms, corridors. But they weren't random. They were all places we knew, places we'd been, my old bedroom, his school. The diner we used to go to, all stitched together like some broken dream. Our characters stood in the middle of it, but the camera no longer followed them from behind. It was from our perspective, like we were standing there, inside the game. My heart was hammering so hard it drowned out the faint sound coming from the speakers. A distorted, childlike voice, humming a lullaby I swear I'd heard as a kid. "Dude, how is it showing this?" my friend whispered. His hand trembled on the mouse. "It's like it's inside our heads." We started moving forward. The world around us warped with every step. The sky cracked like glass, revealing a black void beneath. Rooms flickered in and out. A kitchen table, a playground, a hospital hallway. None of them stayed long enough to recognize fully. And then we saw them, figures, dozens of them, frozen mid-step, mid-scream, faces blurred out, like mannequins caught between realities. When we got closer, some of them twitched, turning their heads toward us. No eyes, just hollow sockets. I whispered, "Don't touch them," but the game had other plans. Our character brushed against one, and the screen flashed. For a split second, I wasn't looking at the game anymore. I was looking at myself, sitting at my desk, but from somewhere behind me. A perspective that wasn't mine. I yanked the controller back, nearly throwing it. "It's watching us from inside, man," I hissed. My friend nodded, pale. "This isn't a game anymore. We're in it." The ground beneath our character cracked open. Through the fissures, we could see another world, dark oceans, floating cities, impossible landscapes twisting in on themselves. A voice whispered again, one of many, "Choose your world." Text appeared, "World A, return. World B, continue." My friend said, "Pick return, end it. Just end it." But something deep inside me, some instinct I didn't even know I had, whispered back, "If you return, you don't go back to the same world." I told him what I felt. His eyes went wide. "You're saying we're already not in our world." I didn't answer. I didn't know. The screen glitched again. This time, our webcams turned on by themselves. On screen, two tiny boxes appeared in the corner, live feeds of us, sitting at our desks. But in the boxes, we weren't moving. We were staring back at ourselves, smiling. I froze, a chill racing up my spine. The other, me, raised a finger to its lips, shushing me. And then, without warning, the selection clicked by itself. World B, continue. The screen exploded into static. The speakers roared with a sound I can't even describe, and my room went dark. Total blackout, darkness. Not just in the game, in my room. The monitors were dead. The lamp was out. Even the hallway light behind the door had gone black. The only sound was our own breathing, ragged and uneven. Then the monitor flickered back on, but it didn't show the game anymore. It showed us live from a camera angle that didn't exist. The two of us sitting there in pitch black, eyes wide, clutching our chairs. My throat locked up. Where is that camera even coming from? The speakers crackled, and the voice returned. Not a whisper this time, a clear, distorted chorus. "You chose, now you stay." The image on screen zoomed in on me. My face, but not as I was, as I will be. Older, hollow-eyed, grinning like the reflection from before. My friend slapped the desk, yelling, "Turn it off, turn ID off." But the power button wouldn't respond. The PC tower hummed louder, hotter, like it was alive. Suddenly, the game world reappeared. Our character, no, not our character anymore. It looked like me, the exact hoodie I was wearing, the same hair, the same terrified face, and it was running. Full speed down another endless corridor. Behind it, the tall figure chased. Its arms twisted, stretching, scraping the walls. Every footstep it took rattled the floor beneath my desk. I leaned forward, sweating, gripping the controller so tight my knuckles burned. We had no choice, we ran. Every turn sharper than the last. Every shadow reaching out like it wanted to pull us in. My friend was screaming directions, left, left, go right, no, run. The sound of pursuit never stopped, growing closer, louder, until it felt like hot breath was right on my neck. At the end of the corridor, another door appeared, but this one was different. It wasn't glowing. It wasn't inviting. It looked exactly like my bedroom door, the same stickers, the same chipped paint, my real door, copied perfectly inside the game. I hesitated, my thumb hovered, my gut screamed at me not to open it, but the figure was seconds away. I pushed forward, the door swung open, and the screen cut to black. Silence, then text appeared one last time, "See you soon." The monitor turned off completely. My room lights came back on. Everything looked normal again, too normal. My friend and I just stared at each other, shaking. He laughed nervously, but his eyes said it all. Safe to say we're never opening that game at night again. But between you and me, sometimes when the house is quiet, I swear I still hear footsteps.